Hi, welcome to We're Cosmic Nature, the podcast. My name is Kelsey, and today we're going to talk about the full moon lunar eclipse happening in Scorpio on May 5th, 2023. And this is the second eclipse of two eclipses. So we had the new moon solar eclipse in Aries on April 20th. And yeah, we always follow with a beautiful full moon eclipse. And in Scorpio. So this one might be a little bit intense. And honestly, I was looking at the chart and I was feeling kind of optimistic, and I pulled a couple cards. Well, I pulled one card and then one other one jumped out, and I was like, oh, I think this might be a bit of a challenging time for some people. So depending on when you're listening to this, nonetheless, the message will land for you as it's supposed to, because we are always in the right time. And okay, let's just get to it. So I spoke about in the new moon solar eclipse episode what eclipses really represent. So if you want a little bit more detail there, I invite you to go back and listen to that. But overall, eclipses are a period of change, a period of breakthrough, a period of big release, and really just like kind of the universe's way of just getting us right where we need to go. Like every moon cycle, every planetary cycle, but certainly every moon cycle, we're getting this refresh, restart. And it's so beautiful that especially if you are a menstruating woman, that it's kind of cool how our cycles sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Not replicate, but they correlate to the moon cycles. We have a full moon and we have a new moon, and then we have ovulation and menstruation, and we kind of have these beautiful 28-ish day cycles. The moon's every 28 days, and I recognize our cycles aren't always exact, but it just helps us to it's a good reminder that we are always, shifting and changing, and every day isn't meant to be the same every month, every year, and being okay with the changes. So yeah, these eclipses are big time energy to remind us of that. And when we have a full moon, so full moons, even if you look at a full moon in Scorpio, like that's a lot of possibly shadow stuff coming up, and just really intimate parts of ourselves that are coming up to be realized, to be recognized, to be released. And then we add the eclipse energy to it, so it can feel a little jarring, maybe, what we're realizing about ourselves. And any emotions such as guilt or shame, that is, I mean, hands up if you deal with those emotions. So unnecessary. And you wonder, where does these emotions of guilt and shame come from? Well, we learned to feel that way probably at some point in our childhood. This is how our psychology is made up, especially from 0 to 7, big time construction of our psychology there, and our psychological awareness. And it really, those patterns just kind of they get more and more ingrained as we get older, unless we make changes. So if you grew up and you were made to feel ashamed for any reason, or guilty for something because of whoever or whatever, I do think it's a natural human emotion, but I mean, we wouldn't feel it if it wasn't a human emotion to be felt. But it's kind of it's unnecessary, but it's also like necessary to learn, because then the opposite is giving yourself unconditional love and compassion and forgiveness, which is part of what came up in one of these cards. If you're feeling any sticky emotions, practicing self-love, compassion, and forgiveness is the most kind and loving thing we can do for ourselves. And I do believe that this human journey is about connecting to the love that we are, and giving ourselves that love, and then radiating that, and then you attract more of that. So it feels like a very cleansing and healing full moon, just why would you feel ashamed about that? And then, okay, maybe not even that question, because then your logical mind would be like, oh, well, this is why. But just, I guess, just honoring that emotion is there, and then giving yourself what you really need, which is love, compassion, and self-forgiveness. So that was a really sort of big theme that came in. But what I originally noticed, which made me feel kind of optimistic about this moon a little bit, is that Jupiter and Venus are making a really beautiful alignment together. And those are sort of the happy planets, if you will. Like Jupiter is luck and abundance and expansion and growth and opportunity. And then Venus is a very harmonizing planet, it loves balance. So they're making a really beautiful alignment together. And this feels like we might be meeting or connecting with the right people that are going to help reflect back to us or help support us through whatever personal situation it is we're going through. So I think having an open heart here is important. And from that place, you'll be able to find the people or the tools, the support that you need. And the other interesting note about this full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio as well is the handful of planets that we have in Taurus. So the sun is in Taurus at the time, and the moon is in Scorpio. And there's a reminder here to find your tools that you can go to that bring you joy. So whether that be taking a cooking class or knitting or getting a massage or reading a good book, like what are the tangible things that you can do that make you feel really good? Because why not? Like always coming back to, okay, if we're feeling all this sticky stuff, honor it, feel it, and also just take care of yourself, take care of your body, like give yourself what you need. I'm literally going to write that down. Like give yourself what you need. It's not always about finding that externally, though I do think that this moon has that harmonious energy to really find the collaborations or the something that's going to help you, but also just reminder like to take that sort of self-responsibility and love yourself. Literally love yourself. So with this eclipse, yeah, I think we're just having a little bit more of that realization, kind of an extension of the last eclipse, like this sort of self-realization and clarity, and hopefully having that reminder to come back to your own personal practices and tools and carry those forward to bring you through any sort of challenging time, because we deserve to feel as good as we can, and sometimes we don't feel so good, and that's fine too. So yeah, that's honestly a very quick gist. If you want to know where this moon is happening in your chart, what area of your life might be most affected, so that's like a general overview, but if you want to take it a step deeper, you want to find, let me see here what degree this is. Yeah, so you want to find 14 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio in your chart, and then find what house that's in. And if you need help with that, I always link below my guide, or you're welcome to book a one-on-one soul session with me, and we can go deeper into your entire chart. But 14 degrees is the point at which this eclipse is happening and this full moon. So for example, if it's in your 9th and 3rd house, you might be experiencing really big shifts in the area of your mindset and your perspective and your beliefs and your who you're connected with and what you're learning and who you're communicating with. And I had a whole eclipse season there a few years ago, and It changed my life. So, I mean, it could also be your first and seventh house. So your area of self and your area of relationships, who you're connected with and why you're connected with them and what you're committed to and how you're balancing that energy between self and other. Could be home and family, fourth and 10th house. Yeah, so very helpful to look at that. And then once you know, you kind of like have this astrological lens on, you're like, oh, yeah. I've been seeing that pattern. I've been seeing that play out because really these eclipses work together. And then also just the days leading up to any full moon or new moon, and then the days after, you can kind of see the energy shifting. So yeah, I hope that is supportive for you, and definitely share with a friend. And if you also have planets in Taurus and Scorpio, like your sun or your moon or your Mercury or any planet really, but definitely those more personal planets, like you might be feeling this even more. And the other signs that would be pretty affected as well would be Aquarius and Leo. So yeah, those are a couple signs that might be feeling it a little bit more. I'm a Scorpio sun, so here for it. But we'll be all right. I trust everything is just getting rearranged as it is, and I'm just gonna go with the flow as best I can. So okay, thank you so much, and we will see you in the next app. And many blessings to you. Happy full moon eclipse.